Yo, it's Ika here. Just come off my best of three with Megazard, the finals. Yeah, I can talk a bit about what how it went and all that. This is actually my Gen 7 team. This is what I was going to use. It's just a low pony offense. Pretty much, just wanted to bring something that was good. Look, it has the classic Celesteela, Tapu Fini core, with Calm Mind, Z Haze, Moonblast Surf, Low Pony, yeah. Celesteela, Nagadel, Garchomp, and the Glalie in the back. I could have actually changed the EVs on this for Porygon download, but nah. Doesn't really matter. I did change a few things. It was Taunt Sheer Cold, which is just crap, so I'm not using that. Specs Naga, I was hoping they'll put in a lot of work and catch him off guard. So game one, he brings this team, which is a adaptation of, I think, Snow Party's Double Dragon. Snow Party's team doesn't have Greninja, I think. It has something else instead of Greninja, but it's Naga Sizzle plus Gara, Sash lead, Lando, Coco. I was going to lead Celesteela in this game to counter lead. I know he's going to lead Lando. I was going to lead Celesteela and counter lead, but I was like, okay, actually I can just I can low pony, I guess, and see what he wants to do. Lando is actually like pretty useless versus all of this. It just stops me from like winning with Nagadel turn 1, which could be a huge problem to his team. I'd have like Gran is worse versus Lop, so I get Lando as a safe lead, but it does struggle against most of the team. So Lando here, I lead Lopunny. I was wondering if he's going to switch into Mega Gara or Mega Sizzle here. So instead of doing what I planned, I was just like, okay, it's just safe for me to click Fake Out here. I just Fake Out because I want to get rid of the Sash on Lando. I know it's Sash because I know his team comp very well. And I switch into Celesteela here on Predicted Rocks. He actually ends up exploding, but that's fine for me. He goes into Gren. I see it's Protean. I just stay in. I know it's likely he's got HP Fire, but I can't risk him just like keeping on like fucking me up basically. So I'm just gonna let my Celesteela go down. I know it's a bit risky if he has Sizzle in the back, but I'm pretty sure Lopunny's high jump kick to Hiko's the Sizzle spread, and I don't want him to like get a substitute off or something like that, which would make me lose the game straight away. So yeah, Lop, I come here, I click return. I'm not going to predict Sizzle coming in. I'm not going to risk. I was tempted to kick because I knew he had Sizzle in the back, but yeah, I have a full health Fini, so I'm not too worried about this. I have a very good chance of to it going. I know I live +2 bullet punch. Think it's all except one roll I live of bullet punch from this Sizzle spread. And yeah, even if not, I have full health Tapu Fini in the back, which I'll just with Calm Mind, I'll just win that way. Because I can always ice him Z if I get low, and just get all my health back. So yeah, close game, but like won pretty comfortably. And then game 2 happens. I see his team matchup. His team has actually got a great matchup against my team. My team's a bit of cheese. I'll show you the team. Yeah, this is just very standard. My GBU team. Well, I'll show you Oras first. I didn't actually play Oras, but we have Mega Lucario, Mega Gengar offense. Just Sash Mamo plus Gengar. Dazzling Gleam is for Protean Greninja. Then Fund Just bulky plot fund. Um, Yachi Garchomp to guarantee Stealth Rock versus Volcarona, and then defensive Coon, and standard Mamo, but no rocks because I have it on Chomp, and then just I have Iron Tail on Lucario, and I made sure it was justified as well, just in case I get into like a late game war with Kang for some reason, so I can justify +2 extreme speed potentially, like in endgame if he's like needs some chip on me to win. But yeah, GBU singles, this team is absolutely batshit insane. I used to originally when I first had it at the start of the week, it had double block on Mamo plus block on Conqueror instead of Ice Punch. That was like, oh shit, I'm actually losing to I have to worry about Latties, so I'm gonna not click Ice Punch. We end up actually both bringing Gothitelle teams. This Thunderous lead, just a counter lead to T-Tar. If it's Scarf T-Tar, you can trap T-Tar with Gothitelle, and start getting to +6 if they click like Stone Age. The double team, of course, just so good. And then Psyshock. Spec Slatty with HP Fire, just a solid thing. Conk and Scarf Ditto to prevent opposing setup. So I look at the team matchup. I see he has Gothitelle. Opposing Gothitelle is actually pretty good against my team. The way that you deal with it is using your own Gothitelle and Ditto, because you have Shadow Tag. You actually win the exchange in the Gothitelle plus Ditto. Basically, 2 Gothitelles beats Gothitelle, and if you're Psychic or Psyshock, you don't do enough damage. Either one of those, you generally only have 1 attack. Doesn't do enough damage for you to actually 1v1 those. So that's my plan against Gothitelle, which is kind of the most threatening member. I'm worried about Reuniclus as well. Like, those are the two bulky psychics. Generally, you don't see like a double psychic team. This team is very strange for Megazard. But yeah, I kind of expect he's like brought like some sort of like some really cool team as well. I lead off with Latias, and I click Surf. The reason I click Surf is because I think there's like multiple options that he has here. One is that he's gonna just keep setting up over and over again. I know that Surf does like 42 to 50% on max HP Goth. He actually just turns out to be Spadef Gothitelle. I know that I'm guaranteed to win the exchange with my Goth and Ditto, even though he's gonna set up a lot. So yeah, pretty much here, like I'm gonna go Lati, I'm gonna click Surf. I see he's got tons of things. I see that he's not Trick Scarf is why I lead Lati instead of going straight Gothitelle into the Carmine War, because I'm worried about Trick Scarf. Because mine's leftovers, and if I trick his Goth, or trick is, it doesn't matter. I can trick anything on his team and he's fucked, basically. Well, I'm fucked if he tricks me a Scarf on my Gothitelle. That's what I'm trying to say. So I just let him Lati. I'm just gonna keep clicking Surf to try and get damage on him. I want to force him to rest so I can like just spam Surf over and over again, and hope for a crit. Basically, I know crit is gonna do it like 70% plus, so like I'll be able to KO as long as I have a little bit of chip, no, even if he's +6. Yeah, people are like, why are you going for Surf? Why are you not going for D-Pulse? Well, I don't have D-Pulse. I could have easily had Trick Specs here as well, which would have fucked him over. But I didn't have that. I was 4 attacks. So yeah, deport. I mean, Draco is okay, but I want to waste, as if he's gonna try and PP store me and force me to struggle to death. I want to use as much. I want to use an attack with a lot of PP, so I have a lot of chances to crit. But yeah, right here, surf, and yeah, he's like, he really led that and surfed instead. Basically, what my plan was is that I let him set up and I go my Gothitelle, I spam his attack, whatever it is against him. He'll go, okay, well, I can click rest, and I go into my own Gothitelle and I start calm minding up whilst he's asleep. Yeah, and then if he's psychic, as he said he was in the post game, then I would win the Goth war. I get +6 evasion, and I just sweep through this entire team. But yeah, Ditto in conjunction with Goth. I didn't want to explain it in the post fucking Discord rant, because like people are just getting emotional, like, oh, it's hacks, you crit. And yeah, definitely I don't know if I'd have won anyways, because he had Fund and Uniclus, but like the Gothitelle definitely wasn't winning, because like I can tank 2 psychics with my own Goth and start calm minding, resting up, or I go into my own Ditto and click psychic until he's forced to rest, or Psyshock, and then I switch into my own Gothitelle. That was my plan, because you don't really run psychic, calm mind psychic, because you use the 1v1 versus Suicune, which is really bad if you're leftover as Goth. That's why I don't get calm mind psychic as opposed to calm mind Psyshock. Calm mind psychic also loses to Chansey of all things. Yeah, which is not a good look. So yeah, here he plots. I'm just gonna click surf, just get the damage. Yeah, I don't want him to I don't want him to KO my Latios, just in case he has like. I just think it might be useful to have Latios in the back, whereas Goth and Ditto kind of fulfill the same purpose essentially. And Goth doesn't. It only traps his Gastro, and I can always copy his Reuniclus. Well, I'm gonna copy his Fund actually here. So he's sub. He has to use his Salak Berry. I know that even if he's Salak, like, he shouldn't have Salaked there. He should have actually just attacked, I think. But yeah, I guess he'd have won if he'd have just attacked. But I guess he didn't understand my strategy, which was to use Goth use my Ditto Goth combination versus Goth, because his Goth just like destroyed my team. That's the only way I could win, unless like I lead Goth and start calm minding, but then he can just switch out because he's he's what's it called, choice locked, not choice locked, because he's Shadow Tag. He can just switch out. So yeah, then I just end up sweeping with him with Fund. That crit doesn't matter at all, because I just click T-Bot again. Even if he's Ice Beam, it doesn't KO, and I just go to Ditto. He's like, and like then sweep you with my Ditto. Like, I didn't explain it well, here, but like, yeah, sorry about the game. It was a bit bullshit, because I've liked to show like what my plan was, but that's how it be sometimes. Yeah, I don't like getting lucky, because it gives like people like. It gives them people the excuse to go, oh, he's not that good, he just gets lucky. Whereas like I've gone 7-1, and I think like the vast majority of my games haven't been lucky. Like you can argue for that one, but like, and he lost in a like similar manner in GBU last set, Although I like definitely won that game quite easily without even clicking. I clicked minimize basically. I definitely won that game without even clicking minimize, but I just chose to because it's the optimal way to do it. But yeah, it gives people like the excuse. I don't like that. I'd rather I've like won in such a manner that they can't even have an excuse. So, but that's how it is. I guess like my season is pretty much over, unless we have a tie break, and then I'll have to play another fucking game most likely. But you know, meh. But yeah, if you see the calcs on SciShark, like Goth custom custom set Goth he's actually Spadaf, but yeah, like at +6 I just wait for him to rest basically, and then switch into my own Ditto, switch into my own Gothitelle, because I can take even loads of these even at +6. Like, yeah, it's 93% chance it's Fiatco, but I can just click rest whenever, like in the last turn, and just PP store him with Goth Ditto combined. And if he's Psyshock and he's +6, I'm +6 versus +6, then he has to rest after 3 turns basically, which will give me the ability to go my own Goth and start CMing up, and clicking double team more importantly, so he can't even hit 3 in a row. If I know he's Psyshock, I don't even bother calm minding, I just spam double team. If he's psychic out, obviously I can't mind. But yeah, you have to like keep those situations in mind. That was kind of my game plan, and I didn't explain it well here, but what can you do? Like, I was just using Ditto to reverse sweep him basically, and even versus Goth, I have my own Goth to like, so that basically he can't just PP storm me with his Goth by clicking rest, because I just go into my own Goth and start clicking calm mind. So yeah, that's it. Unfortunately, it played out in a different manner. I don't know whether I'd have won, because it's like there's so many like other things, like his Runiclus and Thunderous are like factors. So we might have gone to, definitely there's a big chance we could have gone to game 3, but like the idea that my plan wasn't solid, I don't think is true. Just that I didn't explain it particularly well, but that's how it is. I'm glad that I end up going 7-1 in kind of my last BSS tour. I don't know if I'm even gonna play next BSPL. Basically, like, what I've realized, like, man, playing this game is like is what's the worst part about it is not the game's like, oh, it's just a hacksy game. Those happen. I was like, but it's like the salt and the vitriol that comes with like winning. Like, I've had like multiple times during my like run, like people just chatting shit. Like, even though like I've won. Let me look. Overall, I've lost 3 games in I've lost 3 games in 8 series. I mean, I'm 14-3 in game count. Like, I don't know what I can do to prove that I'm like pretty, that I'm doing well, and just like pretty much like like every time there'll like be people that just like try and pick apart your like your wins and losses. Like when I did put the Nova tiebreaker, for example, like this, when I played this tiebreaker, the Usam game. It's like, well, why did you lead Thunderous T when, you know, it's like the small things that, yeah, I can answer. Oh, it was Electrium. I can answer the question, but like if you put me on the spot, like, you know, I'm not the best at explaining myself. I like there's people that are just try and pick apart like everything you do. When like most of it is like, oh, this is my gut, this is my game knowledge, coming to play, and that's why I do the things that I do. I mean, and yeah, I've definitely made mistakes. I made quite a few. I created quite a few mistakes, especially in my losses. Some of my wins weren't fully optimal. Like the ones I played against Synergy, I think like my Glalie games, my Usum game was not optimal for sure. I think I played Oras well, but that's just like one example. Like versus Kaori, I played suboptimally. I think in not in Usum, I played perfectly in Usum, but I played suboptimally in GBU. I ended up winning because I had a tech that worked. Yeah, even then, like there's people like complaining, oh, why are you using Hydro Scold, Kingdra? Like I'm using that because I don't need a dragon move on this team composition. Like this team comp, I don't need a dragon move. I have Chomp, I have Politoed with that specifically EV to take on opposing Dragonite, and has Ice Beam. I have Crest with Ice Beam. I have Fund. I'm pretty sure it has ACPIs. Like, why do I need? Do I necessarily need? You know, that. Do I necessarily need Kingdra to have Dragon Pulse just because Specs has Dragon Pulse? No, that's not how it works. You use your team compositions base. You look at your team composition and go, all right, yeah, solid against that. That I can basically, even in the rain, I can take on stuff like Specs Latias anyways, just by clicking sub. Even Life Orb I can take on because eventually you'll get into range of Hydro Pump just by me clicking sub, and I can click disable on the moves that threaten me the most. That's just an example, but it's like that has happened every single week. It's so annoying. These people who just like, it's like I'm not here to like criticize other people's play because like, for like I could talk about, you know, how Megazard played his side, but that's not like who I am. So like this series, for example, I'm kind of going on a fucking rant now. I'm pissed off. Pissed off. Oh yeah, this series, game 2 of this series, I smashed Megazard in Gen 7. I could have 3-0'd him easily, just because, you know. And then in GB, basically, I just used this minimize strategy, and I win. I was like the salt comes out. Like, yeah, it's admitting you can't win without playing. Like, I outplayed in team preview, and that's like some of the most respected people in the community, or the most respected people within like the fucking smoking scene. It's just sad, man. It's like shit like this just makes you want to quit Pokemon. Like, I can go into week 3, like I win versus, I think week 3 was like actually quite quiet because I just won. Like the only times that it hasn't been controversy, or people trying to pick apart, it's just when I win like so fucking hard, that it doesn't matter. Like this game, like what can you do? It's just like completely fucked. Oh no, even this game they go, oh, one in, you know, oh, you like let your Ferrothorn get low like into Shadow Claw crit range. It's like, even crit, this is not gonna crit Shadow Claw. You know, that's just a risk that I have to take. Similar to this, like similar to like oh, why do you click pump? It's like all this bullshit. It doesn't fucking mean anything. Yeah. Yeah, can look at this series, like, yeah, Average Fella is actually a swell dude. And this was the in my opinion, this game was the most hacksy win I got in this game was probably the most hacksy win I got in Usum, at least. It's like, yeah, because I avoided static, I avoided static and discharge paralysis. If I'd have not avoided that, I might have lost the game because he was Scarf Drill. Yeah, so like an Average Fella, swell dude, didn't say anything. You know, that's like, yeah, week 5, like, versus Novid, like, I won in 2 or 3. Yeah, like, yeah, I got in shit for using. I got in shit for like disrespecting Lily, but I was like winning that game 100%. And then this, you know, it's like, oh, why didn't you sucker like this turn? Was it, yeah, this turn here? Or he's like, I just don't get it. Like every time, like I make a misplay in this, like, or potentially, it's not even that it's a misplay, because often it isn't a misplay. It's just people that don't like understand the game situation and stuff like that are like, or are salty or commenting, or my opponent is like naturally salty every time they lose. They just comment, and it's like, I don't know. I kind of just want to break from all of that. And even though I end up going 7-1, like, why at the end of the fucking calendar do I feel like, and potentially like my team is potentially gonna win BSPL because we're 3-1 up now? I don't feel fucking shit, you know. I don't get it, man. And like 90% of this has just been me ranting now because I'm just like pissed off about this whole like situation here. I tried to say nothing this time because like I can't win in those fucking arguments, like, and like I vaguely said a few words. I didn't properly explain my strategy, but like even if I did, like, you know, there's gonna be something I like this game, like, I'm gonna say, oh, that, you know, that, oh, you just fluked it because you know, Sizzle has like a 1 in 16 roll, you risk that. It's like, no, that's I you know, you make calculated risks because BSS is not a perfect game. I don't know, man. It's just like, it just winds me up when people go, oh, you like kind of write everything off that you've done as lucky. And it's like the second series in a row that is just like I've 2-0'd him pretty cleanly. Well, not clean. The games haven't actually, no. First series was fucking clean. But like the second series wasn't actually that clean. But you know, it's like, oh, you just hacked. It pisses me off. You know, because I actually put a lot of work into this week, prepping and all of that shit. It's just like such a waste. Like, yeah, I want to win. The only way that you can like stop these people like whining is to win in so fucking hard that they can't even say anything. It's sad. But anyways, that's the end of my BSPL run. I'm not happy even though I fucking won. And yeah, I mean, the most interesting part of this TV game was actually we both brought Garfatel. I wasn't inspired by Tectonic Destroyer bringing Garfatel. I always planned to bring this team because I looked at it and I was like, this team's dope. Because it originally had double block and I was like, damn, that's cool. But yeah, this is what happens when I've had like a beer or two, bit of alcohol in my system. I get like more irate and just rant. better to do it this way than actually do it the other way. do it on the chat though. I haven't really ranted on the chat, because if I did, the funny thing was that the BSPL discussion thread was locked because I can't remember who was whining. It's like it's just constant thing in BS the community. But there you go. Anyways, I'm hoping we win BSPL, because yeah, I've worked a lot for this season, even though everyone's going, oh, you just got lucky, So, and now I can retire in peace. Anyways, I'm gonna end this video because it's just like me ranting and getting too long. So yeah, fuck it, man. GG's.